Do you believe in reincarnation?
No.
No. Because like the people that do believe in reincarnation, on their tombstone, do you think it should just say BRB?
Boom, 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 boom. Now tell me what you gonna do, but it ain't nowhere to run. When judgment comes for you, when judgment comes for you, what you gonna do?
You don't get all
Ain't mess with the berries.
I don't fuck with berries, as you can see, because they all taste the same. Okay. So yeah, man. So let's talk real quick. I'm gonna ask you. Excuse me. I want to ask you really a couple more questions. Number one, age. All right, because I'm now about to dive back into this whole dating field. Now, this sucks from what I'm understanding. Dating nowadays is horrible.
Yes.
You're like,
I mean, I concur. I mean, I'm recently single for like the last 4 months.
Right.
Recently single, but man,
It sucks.
First thing I run into with a lot of women is they're like they want it's money. Everything's about money.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not paying nobody to be my girlfriend.
No.
If
you
I got to do that, I might as well get a prostitute.
Right. 100%.
I'm not paying nobody for that.
And so, but it just seemed, because like I was talking to Shamila earlier, and I was like, I think this dating scene is gonna be tough.
Yeah, it's beyond tough, bro.
Because it's like I don't know dating now. I don't know what it's like. Because you have social media that controls everything in a relationship. You can hide so much shit behind those social walls till it is not even funny.
What social media does, or at least what I think I've seen a little bit, what social media is, people see a lot of what other people's relationships are, right?
Right.
And a lot of that stuff it's not realistic. They're making stuff look
you see what they showing you.
right.
Yeah.
But then they want to have what that person has. Mm-hmm. So they want to, that expectation from you.
I hate this term, the grass is greener on the other side.
But sometimes it just is.
But sometimes it's just not.
And then I say it is, because when you get on the other side and you're like, well, fuck, it's the same grass.
Yeah. All you need to do is water that other grass.
It's just the sun was hitting it different.
Or this grass is just that it's just because that person had more time to water that grass.
Yeah,
this grass over here is grass that's been here for a while.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is put some seeds in and water that motherfucker. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, do what home is supposed to do instead of you worried about what the fuck is over here.
Yeah, because that's exactly cattle. Because that's actually where the term comes from. Mm-hmm. It's people's cows. They always go over the fence. You have to fix the fence all the time. Mm-hmm. Cows reach over the fence to eat the grass instead of the grass that's at their feet.
Mm. So that's why it's okay. That makes sense.
So the grass is green on the other side.
Yeah.
I'm criticizing women because I've only been a guy.
Right.
So
right.
I'm criticizing women, but the women are like, they can, you're this and that. Mm-hmm. But this guy's got, and you watch this and they be like, but look at his fit he wearing. Oh, but he's got these shoes. He's got this and that.
But I'm gonna tell you, that's just right now.
Yeah. Well.
I'm gonna put on my best outfit every time I see you.
But see, me, I'm rugged.
Right.
I'm like, what you see is what you get.
Right.
I used to wear suits. I used to do all that. Mm-hmm. Once I retired,
you're like, I'm done.
You lucky if I put on pants.
Right.
Like, I walk out. I walk to the mailbox in my drawers. I don't care.
Well, hell, you got all you got space.
Well, yeah.
How far? How close is your neighbor? What's your closest neighbor?
Depends on which house. One of them, my closest house is probably 150, 200 yards.
Oh, okay.
And then the other house is probably 50 yards in between houses.
Gotcha. So you got a little bit of space, but not a whole bunch.
And the other one is about a quarter mile between houses.
Gotcha. Yeah, man. But I was just wondering about that, and also, since of course, still like getting back into this dating scene, what is your what's your high and what's your low? Meaning, what's the highest age that you'll go, and what's the lowest age you'll go?
So my thing is, if I just find you attractive, and I don't feel like you don't give me that vibe of like, get the fuck out of my face, then it doesn't really matter to me. Mm-hmm. I mean, I find that a lot of women my age feel that I look young. Mm-hmm. And their biggest issue is they don't want their friends thinking they're dating someone younger. So, but I find a lot of women in their 20s and 30s that want to talk to me. You know, so I'm at my homeboy owns a bar. I'm there all the time. We're hanging out, and women will come over and start talking to you. And we were there at the last Cowboys game that was the home game. And there was a young lady sat down beside. She was, and a couple of us sitting there, and she was like, "I'll buy you a drink." I was like, "That's interesting," because that don't happen that often, right? So I told her, I was like, "I'll buy the next round." So we start talking, right?
Right.
And I was like, you know, I'm a little bit older than you. She told me, she was like, "Yeah, I'm 22." I said, "Well, I'm just a little bit older than you."
Yeah, a little bit.
So she guessed that I was 30. That's, you know, add 20 years to that. You know, 21 years to that.
Right,
you know?
right. To be honest with you.
And then she was even more interested then. And I'm like, okay. But I find a lot of women in their 20s are more interested in me now that I'm in my 50s.
Really?
Then
and I wonder why. Why do you think that is?
I have no idea.
You don't know.
I don't know.
So younger women will go up. You think an older woman will go up 30 years in their relationship? I mean, to date.
Yeah, I mean, before I met my ex, I think probably 35 is the oldest that person that I went out with. Because like I said, everyone in their 40s and 50s are like, "Oh, you so young," and you this and
see, like me, I don't know where to go meet people because I hadn't been out in years.
Now I did.
You know what I mean?
I tried the online thing. Now the online thing, I like. Yeah, I like to talk to people.
Right.
You know, we can converse, we can have a conversation, but this online thing, I'm like, okay, you send me a message. Well, what the fuck am I supposed to say?
Yeah.
Oh, hi.
Yeah.
Good day.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, blessings. I don't know what the fuck to say to you.
know, hello, chap. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I mean, yeah, it's a little bit difficult, but you know, I like to go out and have fun. So like, you know, like when I leave here, I'm going to my partner's bar. We'll sit there and we'll drink, and it's always someone there. Like I was there last night. It was a couple of women sitting there, and they were asking questions, and I was like, "Hey, quit asking my bartender questions.
Right.
It's my bartender, you know.
We busy."
So we start having conversation, and then we bring half the bar on the other side into the conversation, and then we all start talking, and then you end up exchanging numbers, you know.
Right.
Then you have a conversation, and you like that one conversation. You're like, "Why the hell I get this number?" You know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see how it goes. It just seems wild to me, man.
It's hard, and it's like every woman says they want this guy that treats them this way and that way and blah blah blah. But as soon as you know you're the nice guy, they're like, "Oh well, I'm not interested anymore."
But that nice guys finish last every time, man. Every time.
That guy that dogs them out, they love him to death.
100%.
Yeah.
They will run back to that one person that has treated them like shit the entire time, and then you get somebody like one of us, and because first off, number one, I'm an asshole. I will tell you that. You know, I really am, and I know that I can be. But whenever I'm in a relationship, I'm not an asshole to my person.
I say that a lot, that I'm an asshole. I tell people that as well. I say I'm an asshole, but it's you know, when the person you're dating,
that's way different.
It's different.
Yeah,
you treat that person different than you do other people.
The way you treat you don't treat your person the way you treat everybody else, strictly because I don't give a fuck about everybody else.
Yeah,
but I care about you. So
tell people in a minute, why are you talking to me?
Yeah, I'm putting all my eggs in your basket. Even the eggs I'm supposed to be talking normal to other people, no, they in your basket because these people gonna get silly shit.
Exactly.
I don't have something to say to you. You know, it's not that important to me. But I was one because see, when I was talking, like I said, I was talking to Shamila earlier, and I said, so what would happen? I said, what would be your relationship stew? You know, so. If you had had to make a stew,
I like that term, relationship stew. I
yeah,
like that.
And so I mean, I want to ask you the same question. What would be in your relationship stew? You know, well, go ahead. What would be in your relationship? Like, what would be in that pot of stew for you?
Ooh, man, and they got to be a genuine person. Somebody finding somebody that's a real person. That's not fake in everything they do. That's one of the hardest things I find. People that. everything they do is fake. They're trying to be so much of what they're not,
Right.
and they're trying to show off for everybody but themselves,
And for no reason.
Yeah, for no reason.
Yeah.
You know, I was seeing someone dating someone, and she got a I can't remember I don't know these name brands. She got some name brand purse. How do you like my purse? I'm like, it's okay.
Do it whole shit.
Man,
Do
she got a case of the ask. I said it was okay. Do you know it's this designer brand? I'm like, I don't
You
give
like,
a
no,
fuck.
I don't know that.
I'm like, shit.
You be fine with one of them Kroger bags in there.
Yeah, I wear a bed sheet. I'm rocking.
Ready to go.
I don't care. you know what I'm saying? You buying a $2,000 purse, and that purse is more than my mortgage on either one of my houses. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this then. I'll ask you two more. I always have two questions. That's what it always is. Let me ask you two questions. But okay, revenge. Do you believe in getting revenge on people?
Depends on situation.
What's the situation that you would not get revenge on a person on? No, fuck that. If you had to get revenge on it, so you believe in revenge. You believe in getting revenge depending on what the situation is. So what's the situation that you would want to get revenge on a person for?
I don't know.
I guess that's kind of a...
You kind of fucked me over on something. It's coming to you.
Yeah, see, I'm the same way. Yeah. But I'm a firm believer in revenge. I'm
a believer in strategic revenge.
Right. I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm not gonna touch you. But I'm gonna get your ass.
But I'm gonna make it hurt though.
Oh yeah. You gonna feel it. You gonna feel it. 100%. I guarantee you, if I got to get you back, I have no problem with serving revenge, hot, cold, or lukewarm, however you need it. I get to you. I give it right to you. Yeah. And I'm a firm believer in that.
You screw me over in some way, shape, or form. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's something that I would be like, you know what, I don't really give that much care.
There's some stuff, but
you screw me over, especially if you fuck me out of a bunch of money.
Yeah.
Oh, it's coming.
Yeah. See, I'm like that with my feelings. You know what I mean? When you fuck with my feelings is they mean something to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't like feeling a certain way. So when you I tell people all the time, if you fuck me, I'm coming at you. Yeah. Because I trust you 100%. I think we talked about this in one of the meetings one time. I trust you 100%. Right away. I'll put my all into you.
But once you cross that line.
Once. Because I don't give you another time to do it again. Now, you get one time with me.
I tell everybody, you hurt my dog, the whole neighborhood better move. I'm going to tear that motherfucker up. But I say that. And when I was in, Fort Bragg, we had a soldier. Came home, his wife, and this happens to a lot of them. You come home, house is empty. They've moved on. They're with another dude. Right?
Damn.
So she filed for divorce. He had a dog that was his dog. He had had it since he was in high school. He was a young cat. He had had it since he was high school. Brought it with him when he joined the army before he married her. Right. And she went to court to get the dog. And she got the dog. They said, well, the dog is attached to the kids and blah 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 blah. So she got the dog. The next day she had the dog put to sleep. He went to a job, shot her in the face.
Oh, did he kill her?
Killed her. Shot her in the face, killed her. And
damn.
But then people were at work. They were like, "Oh, she put his dog to sleep, and she killed her." And people were like, "Oh, well, you know." And
so they were okay with it.
I mean, because
he went to jail, didn't he?
Yeah, he went to jail. Well, he went. He went, but then he got a medical discharge for mental issues.
You know what? Thinking of that, man, do you think that suicide should be considered a crime? I mean, suicide attempts. Should that be
in the military is considered a crime.
Or and so they go to jail?
Yeah, I actually had a soldier try. Well, a lot of soldiers try. We had a soldier that tried to commit suicide. She, as well as having a bunch of mental issues, they actually handcuffed her to a bed, had her both hands handcuffed to the bed. And then they brought in a thing to court-martial her for trying to commit suicide because you are considered government property. So wow. It's actually illegal in the military, but there's ways get you medicaled out before they can go through a whole board. So
they would go through a whole a trial and all of that type stuff too.
They will do you dirt in the military. if whatever they want to do to you, they can.
Unless because they own you.
Right. Unless you have somebody that's willing to strategize and help you do something before they can do it, or someone to fight for you, it's a wrap. They can do basically whatever they want to do.
That's crazy. I wonder how much time would you get for a suicide attempt? That would be crazy.
I don't know. Eternity. Same thing you get for suicide, I guess.
Because to me, that's like attempted murder.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, suicide attempts is like attempted murder. If you could change a historical event from the past, what would you change and why?
Damn, there's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them. But what's the first one that popped in your mind?
I would change. I would say, I would take.
You just take that whole thing away?
I would take Jerusalem and I'd burn that bitch to the fucking ground and say, anybody that wants it, you got nothing but desert to fuck with.
Let me ask you about slavery. Do you think all of slavery was bad?
No.
So why is it that we don't ever hear about any good shit from slavery?
Because we don't read books. Because I've had this conversation a lot. So I've read several books, and on some of those books, some slaves write about how their life was, and their life was not bad. It was just they didn't want to be a slave. They didn't want to have to be told what to do. And then you have, some slaves who were basically, they were slaves, but they lived a normal life like everybody else. But they worked. They still had to work. They worked for free. Ibn Said, I believe, is what his name was. President Jackson, that actually over time and later on ended up bringing him to the White House. And even though he was a slave, of course, Jackson wasn't going to help him get out of slavery.
Right, no.
But he wanted him to be an ambassador for the United States with Africa. He wrote a book in Arabic. He talked about how when someone first found him, on certain days, him and his family would raise crops, and they would go to places, a little market, where all the slaves that raised crops would go and sell their crops at the market.
So that's how they survived.
Yeah, and then some of the slaves.
But wait, where'd they get the crops from?
They grow them themselves.
Oh, but where'd they get the stuff to grow? Where'd they get the stuff to grow?
The seeds.
Like the leftovers, seeds. Maybe.
Probably something like that.
Or you think they probably was kind of stealing some stuff?
That's what I'd have done.
Me too.
I'd have just snatched some. But I was reading them. One guy, black slave master, he had a lot of slaves, and he actually bought his wife as a slave, and as he had kids, sold his kids, bought his freedom, and after that, I think he had one more kid, sold one of his other kids, but bought and started buying slaves, end up getting property, and he ended up being, he believed in the Confederacy.
So he was like Django.
Django. Like old boy and Django.
He was a slaver.
Yeah.
He was a slaver. That's crazy. Where do you think the 5-second rule came from, man? Why the fuck did we have a 5-second rule? That shit ain't real.
Because somebody hungry.
They say, I dropped it, but shit, I got a little bit more time. I'm gonna pick that shit the fuck up.
Man, this shit tastes good as motherfucker. I'll take some dirt with it.
Yeah, it's all right. It ain't that bad. Just blow it off. Because 5 seconds, like, why not 7 seconds? Why not?
You know what? I don't even know, because everything I ate when I was deployed in the military was dirty.
That shit been on the floor way longer than 5 seconds.
It was either full of sand, dirt, grass, something.
So if hell is on fire, right? What color is hell? Is it orange like fire? Does it ever get daytime in hell?
Well,
are there paths in hell? Like, can you? If everything is on fire, you walking on fire? Like, what is hell? Like what is heaven and
hot coals? It actually says a lake of sulfur is what hell would be. And when I picture sulfur, I picture yellow. But then when you always picture hell, people are like show fire. And I guess I would think of like lava or something.
Yeah, so that's what I would think. But why do we have these places like heaven and hell? Why do we have them as like physical places where there's like you are actually gonna go? Why do we paint these pictures of these two different places?
And this is kind of a complicated one. I'm gonna go into this for this is kind of long. I'm trying to keep it short. So it was a created concept, and some of the created concept was to basically control the masses, right? So, and we're talking about even before Christianity, but after Christianity, a lot of these different concepts were concepts to basically control the masses, because a lot of things that we believe in when it comes to these religions, you read the text. Text don't actually say that.
Right.
It's ad lib. But then you look at the original text. Let's take the Bible for instance. You look at a lot of the original text. It had been rewritten, and you look at some of the stuff, and it doesn't even say the same thing. So it's not even, once it's been translated, it's not like they translated, they changed it to what they, kind of fit in their whole thing. So like you were talking about suicide. So they added suicide. Christianity was known as the religion of the poor. So the poor and of the slaves during the time of the Romans. So a lot of them believed that you would go to heaven when you die. So they were committing suicide. So then they came back and said, well, if you commit suicide, you go to hell, to try and keep their slaves and everybody from committing suicide. So to this day, we still say, well, you can't go to heaven if you commit suicide. But where did it originally come from? Well,
That's
under
where it came from.
Emperor Constantine having his people bring these things to what later ended up becoming the Bible.
See, I never knew that, and that makes sense that they made it up like that. But it seems like it was before that though, wasn't it? Wasn't it before slavery time that heaven and hell was?
Well, yeah. When I say Emperor Constantine, I'm talking over 1,000 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
because like I never understood that. Just like I never know who planted the seeds that the cotton seeds. Who planted those cotton seeds? I mean, somebody had to plant them motherfuckers in order for them to get picked.
Hey, I do. I've done a lot of, because I'm a history buff, as you know.
Right.
I've done a lot of reading on that, and the whole concept of slavery, I'm not really that interested in it, but I end up reading a lot about it because there's not a society that hasn't been in slavery, right? So everything from the Vikings to the Romans to the Persians, I mean, every society had slaves, especially when they went and attacked somebody else, they had slaves, right?
Right.
One of the biggest slavery movements that ever existed was when the Moors went into Europe and took them slaves, I think, for 200-300 years, something like that. When you go to Spain and you still see many of the Islamic texture or Islamic buildings that they built and so on, or Muslim, Islamic, whatever you want to call them. They were slaves, millions of people. Slavery was the bomb for them,
Right.
So it's just existed in everything. So you can't really study history in anything and not have slavery
Slaves
pop up in it.
Would you want to be a slave?
I don't know. It depends on how cute my master is. She off the chain.
You're like, I'm on it.
We rock that.
Well, would you work in a cotton field today?
My parents made us see what it feels like to pick cotton.
So you pick cotton before?
And you know what? For like 20 minutes.
So see, I would be a slave for 20 minutes. I would go back and be a slave.
No,
because
that shit cuts your. I mean, it's sharp. It cuts your hands.
Cotton does?
Yeah, it's like
Oh.
as it opens up, those buds get dry, and we actually pulled up and I'll never forget this. We had been getting in a bunch of trouble, all kind of stuff. 'Cause my grandparents, we used to have to work on their farm in the summertime, and then we'd come back to Oak Cliff. So we were on our way back, and me and my sister had been fighting constantly. And my mom was talking, you don't know, and this and that, blah, blah, blah. And we would always pass this place, and it would be cotton there towards the end of the summer. And my dad pulled over
And made
and
y'all
went
go-
there. And it's like he wanted my kids to say, and he was a white guy, I want my kids to see this and that. They told us to pick some, and we were like, so I was just like,
Yeah.
so I picked some, and he's like, hurry up, pick it. So I was doing stuff, and I'm like, ooh.
So you were a slave for about 20 minutes because you had a white guy
No,
telling you
I
what
was
to
a
do.
slave for about 16 years, boy.
Oh, you like, no, let me go way back.
Hey, I worked, and I had to work the gardens, pick all the, we planted stuff, canned all the food, slop the hogs, milk cows, churn butter.
Because y'all had a farm.
Yeah, well,
right?
my grandparents had a
Grandparents,
farm, so
yeah.
we lived here in Oak Cliff, but my parents didn't want us to be in Oak Cliff in the summertime. So
Do you think that molded you to the person that you are today, or do you think you would have automatically been a nature person no matter what?
I would have been a nature person no matter what, but I don't think I would have had the skills that I have
the
as
knowledge of it. If I had to survive on my own like that, I would be dead. However long I could stay alive without dying from not eating something, that's how long I'll be alive. See, because you can survive, you can get food. You know, you'll be able to, like you just said, you can hunt, then you can make your meats or whatever. Me, I would probably shoot the shit in the wrong place. Then I'll try to cut it open, and ain't no telling what I'm eating. And then, I wouldn't be able to build a tent. I can't do none of that shit, man. Nothing.
You know what? You think you can't do something until you have to do it.
You're probably right. You're probably right.
And
not probably.
It may
I
be
know you're
trial
right.
and error when you absolutely have to do it. And when you absolutely have to do it, it may be trial and error, but you'll figure it out.
Huh. Yeah, I think so. Let me ask you another question. Why is there a letter D in the word fridge, but there's not a letter D in the word refrigerator? and then?
Oh, you know what? That's one of those make you say, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, because the English language doesn't make any sense.
None whatsoever.
But then again, the English language is actually a mixture of several different languages.
True.
So maybe that's why. I mean,
and like,
I know.
Like the letter Z, why is it the last letter of the alphabet when the actual letter of the last letter that was put in the alphabet was the letter J? I don't understand why. Like, why is our alphabet in that order? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like I said, the last letter that was added to the alphabet was the letter J.
So that's something you're gonna make me go and Google.
The letter J or the Z?
The whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, you can't. Cause
I spend a lot of time reading anyway, so
right.
I'm always Googling something.
Yeah.
And I'll end up start reading a book, and like when you come to my house, you'll see a lot of books sitting out because I'll start reading the book,
and then
there'll be something there that I can't fact check.
Oh.
So I'll go and buy a book on it,
right,
to read that book so that I can read this book to see if this book is BS or not.
Right.
You know.
Right. And also, like, why does glue stick to everything else, but it doesn't stick to the inside of the bottle? You know what I mean? I mean, I can literally put some glue right here, and that motherfucker will stick, but it will not stick to that bottle.
It'll pour right out. Yeah.
But it stick on the outside of the bottle?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Why? Why is that, I wonder? Do you know the word fuck is an actual acronym?
No, I didn't know.
And they've said, let me take that back. It's not actually an acronym. What they were trying to say that it was at one time, and they said that it meant fornicating under the consent of the king. That's what the word fuck meant. That's what they thought.
How do you fuck in places that don't have a king?
I don't know. I guess you just
beat it up.
Just beat it up. It's just against the law all day, but you're gonna be doing it. But yeah, but then they ended up breaking it down, and of course it came out to an actual French word. It was like "faka" or something that it ended up translating over to "fuck," but because "fuck" is one of my favorite words, and so I use that word as often as I possibly can. I like everything about the word "fuck." I do. I like the action of it. You know, I like fucking, so I like the action of the word. I like how you can mean it. Fuck you. You know what I mean? It can be good, it can be bad. The word fuck is great, dog. I love the word fuck. That's my good word. You
can say it without saying it.
Right, exactly. So this was what my relationship question was going to be.
Okay.
So you know how in relationships people will build a wall up in their relationships, right? So I wrote here, the same wall you're using for protection in a relationship can also hurt you. Meaning that if you build that wall up to protect you from whatever it is outside, that wall to me, I feel could actually hurt you at the same time that it's protecting you. And the reason I feel that way, and of course interject on me at any time that you want to, but the reason why I feel that way is because, you know, you start building this wall to protect you from a relationship. So if that person starts to love you and starts to care too much for you, and you have this wall up, you're never going to allow that person to be fully with you because you have built this wall, you know, and I'm trying to nitpick at it and I can never break it down. So now it's hurting you because you're not receiving this love that I'm able to give to you because you have this wall up. So that wall that's protecting you can also hurt you.
I think you have to know your person, because if you know them and you feel that they're holding back, you feel that they have a wall built up, the other person, then you definitely need to keep some sort of wall built up, because there's a reason that they have that.
But what if you don't see that? What if you don't know that wall is being built? You know,
and you're going, okay, you don't know the wall's being built, but you're just going all in.
Yeah.
And
this person is taking some of your bricks, you know, to build this wall taller on their side, because you have knocked your wall completely down.
Yeah, I mean that's rough. I mean, I can't see being 100% all in, and
see, that's my problem. That's what I do.
Being 100% all in. Now, don't get me wrong. That doesn't mean you don't love that person.
Oh yeah, no, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
But at the same time, you keep in your mind, there's always this possibility that this could happen, or this is going on, or this is what reality, and so on.
See, I can't do a relationship like that, because like I told you before, I trust you 100% right away. If we are getting into something, we in it. Mm-hmm. You know, so I trust you. So I don't build walls. I don't do any of that stuff, because if I dive in, like I said, I put my eggs in that basket. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna keep them there. Like I said, you're not able to receive what I'm giving you fully, because you're always guarded. You know, like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
It still depends on. It still depends on the personality of the person you're dealing with too.
That's true. That's true.
Because some women are just that loving individual, and some are just vicious.
Maybe because I went. Oh, when we were on that one show, remember that girl went off on me?
Yeah,
and I'm like, I didn't even know you were talking to me. First off, she went off on me, and I'm like, you will never have a person. I said, look at me, I'm a very strong individual, and I'm telling you right now, my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean,
there's no way. Do you watch baseball? No, because I was wondering, what is a fastball in baseball? All of them fast, aren't they?
I thought all of them like 90 to 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, and I'm like, that was a fastball. What was the last one? What are your views on aliens, man? Do you believe in aliens?
I remember we were about to talk about that. At that other podcast. Now,
because aliens, to me, they don't have to necessarily be in the shape, form, or fashion that you see in the movies with the big eyes.
Yeah.
And well,
I believe if aliens exist, they were here on Earth. They were the first here on Earth, or they've been here on Earth all the time.
Yeah.
And the reason being is the closest star to us is over 150,000 light years away, right? So for someone to travel from somewhere like that to here, you would have to have a breeding population of people on a huge, gigantic
ship or something.
Ship that's as big as a city or larger.
Right.
And people, and that's 150 light years is, I mean, it's technically it's years and distance and speed all at the same time. So I'm not a physicist, so that's a hard one.
But I want to talk more about it.
So let's just say 1,000 years. It takes 1,000 years to get here. So people are going to live on this ship, producing food, producing water, breeding, producing a civilization.
They have a whole life.
Yeah,
a whole world,
and then happen to stop by the most fucked up planet in the universe. I mean, in the solar system.
Yeah.
And then
So let me ask you this too. So you have the sun, right? And all of our planets are lined up over here. What's on this side of the sun?
Well, they're not always lined up.
Well, they kind of stagger, I know, but we're still on one side, so we're rotating, right?
Right.
But what's on on our axis?
So whenever we're on this side, what's on the other side?
Yeah, like if Earth is here, what's on the other side of the other side of our axis? Is there anything that's rotating with us?
Well, there's meteors, there's comets.
So it's not like another Earth over there.
No, because all the other planets.
But we've never been over there to see though.
Well, we can't be on the other side. Like you over there, I can't be over there at the same. Because if I'm over there, I can't be over here.
But if we are the space station, does it move or does it sit still?
Well, it's moving like a couple of 100,000 miles or something like that.
So it's moving with Earth.
Yeah.
So it's moving too on the same axis. We have never been on the other side to see what's over there.
Right.
Well, like how they say.
Well, the space station is only going around the Earth. It's not going around the sun.
But it's going with the Earth around the sun.
Well, it's going,
it's rotating. Yeah. So,
but see, the Earth, the sun is so big. It's like taking the head of a pin and holding it up to this little little clock you got right there, a little
Right.
round clock.
Right.
So for the Earth to go around the sun, I mean that the sun is freaking huge, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we wanted to see what's on the other side at the same time we're
Take us
here,
forever.
you're talking, forever. I mean, what
We
did it
won't
take?
ever get over there.
What did it take 6 years to get to Jupiter? When we sent something out, I think it was like 6 years.
Why did we send something to Jupiter?
Because we had shit else to do, I guess.
That don't make no damn. I wonder how much that cost.
I don't know. Yo, taxes.
Let me see. Let's just send some shit to
they've
Jupiter. Did you
they've
really?
gone to, let's see, several times to Mars, Jupiter, Europa. I think it was Europa, but they've always gone all the way to Pluto to find out Pluto is actually not a planet.
Yeah, it's not a planet. How did they know that you can't breathe in space? Did some motherfucker step out there and say, "Oh shit"? And what does it smell like up there? And if you can tell me what it smells like, how the fuck do you know that it smells like that?
Since it's a void, there's nothing, because there's no air, there's no nothing. I'm assuming it wouldn't be a smell.
So it wouldn't. You don't think it would smell like anything?
No, because there's nothing.
There's nothing
no
there.
air. There's no wind. There's no anything.
Did you know that if you were to be sent out in space, of course your body would kill you instantly, or pretty quick. Like I read the steps that it goes through, and your body will stay the same way that it is after it's done doing what it's doing. It'll stay that way for 1,000,000 years. Did you know that?
It's basically being preserved.
Yeah,
like
yeah, that's what it'd be. Could you imagine being in space and you bump into somebody? Oh shit!
Well, I've always wondered,
Because Tesla,
like people shine like a laser in the sky,
right?
And a laser beam light doesn't stop,
Right, right.
So if someone's walking on a planet 1,000 years from now, and all of a sudden a laser just hits, you're like, where the fuck this come
Yeah,
from?
what was that? Like, I wonder if Buzz Aldrin, did he pee on the moon?
Because he opened his suit, he would have died.
He would have died. First off, is there gravity in space?
No,
Is there zero gravity?
zero gravity in space, but gravity on other planets?
So is that why whenever you're doing this in space, you're actually still, because I never understood that.
You mean on the moon?
I mean on the moon, yeah. Like on the moon.
So the moon has its own gravity, just not
so it has
not as strong as as the Earth.
As Earth. So it has a gravitational pull, just
Right.
not that strong. Oh, okay. If you were in space and those motherfuckers floating around like this when they outside working on the space station, but you on the moon bouncing and shit.
Yeah.
Well, come on, man. Some off.
So, what trips me out is when I watch all these TV shows, people in space, and they walk around this little ship.
Right.
I'm like, where the fuck your gravity come from?
Right.
Ain't no gravity in space.
Yeah, like like Star Trek and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got their own gravitational pull on their
Yeah,
spaceship.
they just made it.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. And then we looking at everybody else and they floating and shit, and you walking around like us.
The only one that was close is like a TV show Expanse, right? And on Expanse they had magnetic boots, and they're in their ships, so
it
they
made
could walk
sense.
around.
Yeah,
so
it made sense. Yeah, but in the norm, you just in the normal
What didn't make
clothes.
sense is why is everything on the desk not floating? You know what I'm saying?
All of it has magnets on it. They all have magnet
everything's
boots.
magnet.
Yeah. Look, my iPad got magnet boots on.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. But either way, I do appreciate you jumping on with me again, man. It was fun, like always. And like I said, come on, man, anytime you want. We'll have some fun.
Man. I'll be here.
All right, let's get out of here.
All right.
It wasn't really a normal 50-something show, but we still had a good time, man. I like talking to you and having a good time with
And
you
it's
all
all
the
good
time,
whenever
man.
I'm kicking it with you, man.
Yeah, and I appreciate you coming on. You're more than welcome.